Well, it was good to finally play a game. The results didn't end up the way we wanted them to. You know, I thought we got off to a good start. We just kind of ran out of gas, and it was my major concern of that being their third game, our first game. And you know, I thought we did some things well for our first game, but a lot to improve on for sure. And just go back to work this week, and hopefully get to play our one and only home game. Hopefully we'll have a good outing this week and improve. You know, you usually make a big jump between your first game and second game, so hopefully we can make that jump this week. But I saw some good stuff that we can build on, and like I said, felt like, you know, just if we run out of gas, I think we'd had a chance at the end.
Coach Cross, special teams were kind of an issue last year. Could you assess how they looked in the first game?
Well, if you say an issue last year, I think you'd be correct. And I think if you watch Saturday, I think it was much better. And that had to do with, you know, I thought Preston Knight punted the ball really well. I thought Allen kicked the ball extremely well, just kicking the ball in the end zone. And, you know, we tried to keep the ball away from, as we said, kind of going in. And you're kicking it 5, 6, 7 yards deep in the end zone, and they're still bringing it out. But I thought on kickoffs, kicked it well. And then, you know, the point afters and the field goal, I thought was, you know, he did a good job there too, and also just breaking in a new punter. Yeah, I hadn't, you know, I hadn't worried about a punt in 4 years here around here with Brady snapping the ball. So I thought Tommy did a really good job, you know, of snapping the ball. And after he got his first couple in and got comfortable, I thought he did a good job there. And in the punt game, I thought, you know, Preston did a good job keeping the ball away from them. I think they had like one return on our punt game. So, and I think he averaged right at 49, almost 50 yards a punt. So I thought it was very, very effective. And I thought our coverage units did well, and you know, return units for the most part, you know, we fair caught most of the kickoff returns. So we took that 20, starting at 25, and I think you know, I thought we did good on the punt returns as well, but much improved.
Don, Colby mentioned that when Colby Fuqua mentioned after the game Saturday that he kind of had a little bit of a bumpy road after he got here, and then you know, kind of was gone and came back in January. Can you take us through that?
Well, I think.
And also just kind of talk about what he brings to the table.
Yeah, I think his athleticism is there, and he's grown as a player and a person over the last year, and he just wasn't quite there last year. And I think it was a lot of just immaturity, you know, on and off the field. And I think he kind of grew up over, you know, the Christmas break coming back in, and had done really well in the off season we had going up to when we, you know, had to cut that short. But he's done a great job during fall, you know, just being ready to play. And he's a playmaker, and it's good to have him out there on the field, you know, having fun, making plays. Probably should have one more pick. You know, he had the one pick six, but he came close to another one that would have been right down there in the red zone that, you know, we could have scored points out of. So come close to that one as well.
Can you just kind of speak to how good it is to have Trae Barry back healthy and what you saw of him on Saturday?
Well, I mean, I thought it was he made some plays, and he's, you know, close to 100%. I mean, coming off that knee surgery, I think it would have been hard for him to been 100% early, you know. I mean, I think he's getting closer to that point, and you know, it's just good to have him back out there playing. We're a different offense, you know, for sure when he's on the field and playing at a high level. So, I mean, I thought he showed that Saturday, and he's, you know, back close to 100%.
Too, about how the new receiver core performed?
Well, I know Jay's going to be more blue collar, and I thought you kind of saw that on Saturday. And as a unit, I thought they played really well. I thought they blocked on the perimeter. You know, they did a good job of blocking on the perimeter and catching the football. I think we didn't have many drops, so I mean, I thought they did a good job running routes, getting open, and catching the football. And it was a really good day for, I think, Dave Russell. You know, just seeing a guy like him have 7, 8 catches and doing what he's done. I mean, he's grown up a lot in the last couple of years, and just had a really good game. And he showed he can catch the football. And yeah, you get a guy like Logan McVay that catches his first career catch. So it's good to see those guys doing well.
It's tough being a freshman kicker, a true freshman kicker, and being asked to kick in your first game.
I thought so. Allen's he's a calm guy, so I didn't think the pressure would bother him that bad. And believe it or not, he's not been kicking that long. He's been kicking a football probably a year and a half. He didn't start kicking a football it's a great story. You look, he's a soccer guy and a long, tall guy, and he did not start kicking a football to January or February before his senior year. So, yeah, he's very green still as a kicker, and so he just works at it really hard. He's got a really live, strong leg, and he just gets better every day. So it's fun to kind of watch him grow into that role. And he had a good fall camp, and he had some bad days in there, but most parts you get the same every day out of him. But he did a really nice job, I thought. It was Coach Kilgore, kind of found him, and not a lot of people recruited him because he didn't really have a whole lot of game tape. He had that senior year, so how recruiting goes now. If you haven't got junior and sophomore and tape, you don't get recruited. So he had no junior tape, so nobody knew about him really. So he's kind of a hidden gem, and we kind of evaluated the tape and got him in and kind of looked at him and really liked him and love his family. So it ended up being a easy, I think, recruiting deal. Once we got on him, he had several other offers after we offered him, but we was able to hang on to him and kind of glad we did. He's a really good player and a good person. I thought they did, and I think the third game, the first game, really, you could tell that. And I think, while they were fresh, I thought we did well. And as the game wore on, I think they were able to run the football, on us in the second half. And I think that's part of the drive right there for halftime. We were a little fatigued there. I thought if we could have took it in 21-7, been a whole lot better than 21-14. And I think they just wore us out up front. Defensively, in the second half. So, but I thought overall those guys played really well, considering.
Coach Cross.
Go ahead, Mark.
Coach Cross, during the weeks leading up to the opener, you'd expressed some concern about them having two games and you just having one, and trying to make sure your team was physically ready. Did you feel like your team was physically ready for this one?
Well, I mean, as much as we could duplicate in practice. I mean, I thought you saw that early in the game. It's just hard to create, game shape, and I think we've always prided ourselves on, from summer, when you play somebody that's, it's both of you's first game, or at least this, the other team's second game, you feel pretty good about it. But there was no way to duplicate that, so I knew that was going to be an issue. I didn't know how big, but it was probably as big or bigger an issue as what I thought, what I expected it to be. So I think you could really tell that, and hopefully that helps us this week. We got to play a Mercer, team that's got a new staff in. They got a new offense. It's going to be difficult to play, and we got to play good up front. So hopefully, getting to play, got a game on them. I hope that helps us this week. So, and I think that it will. It will be a factor somewhat in the game. But I mean, we got to get ready to play this week. Put that one behind us, and we already have, and got started to work on them. And the good thing about the way the preseason work, we got to work a lot on our, all our opponents, before we play. So we worked a lot on Mercer stuff, before we realized we're playing them as well as Florida State.
Just the fact that this is the only home game, what does that kind of add to, I guess, any semblance of urgency about what the taste you want to leave in the mouths of the home crowd?
Well, I mean, I think we better make the most of it, right? Being the only home game, so you don't get another one. So I mean, I think we'll have a lot of festivities going on, from homecoming to a lot of alumni stuff going on. So it's going to be good to have everybody back, and wish we'd have a full crowd. I mean, but I think our folks will be loud, and it'll be like we got a full crowd there, and ought to be a good day. But I think. Just getting to play at home in front of the home crowd, the guys are looking forward, to that and get back home, because the rest of them are going to be on the road. So we got to enjoy this and make the most of it. But I think it's very, very important to make a good showing this week and play well. No, totally different. Totally different Kennesaw. It's not they're not a triple option team. They're under center. They're more of a jet sweep, wing tee type team. They throw the football, a lot more than what Kennesaw throws it. They're not a true triple team. They sprinkle a little option in there. So it depends on who their quarterback is. I think if he's got more of a runner at quarterback, they may run a little bit more option. But it's a lot of wing tee stuff. They get you going. It's a lot of misdirection. But they do throw the football a good bit, for that. And it's no huddle. So it's fast pace. I think that's one of the things that makes them more difficult is their tempo and getting lined up. They're going to give you a lot of unbalanced sets, shifts, moves, and you just got to get lined up to it. And you definitely got to leverage the ball. They want to get you out gapped. They want you to be a gap short. They want to out leverage you. And get the ball on the perimeter. And but ultimately they're going to be physical and they will run the ball right at you. So I think that's what we got to be ready for. A lot of the other stuff they do is smoke and mirror stuff. They really want to run the ball right at you. What then? Yeah, they still do some cut block stuff, but it's like I said, it's not like a Kennesaw deal where it's true triple stuff. Well, I think it's been very difficult because it's first year there. You just got to take the Lenore Ryan stuff and break it down and kind of what they did there, offense and defensively, because virtually got the same staff as he had there. He brought with him, so it's going to be the same stuff. And they do a good job. They're well coached. They block and tackle and play the game the way you're supposed to play it. So it ought to be a good thing. Now I go back to Florida State being a first year staff. I think it's a difficult year. Preparing, getting ready. If you've been there a while, it's hard to get ready for what we're in right now. But not having a spring, not having a summer, I think is difficult. But I think what they do offense and defensively kind of speeds them up a little bit there. I think they'll be able to execute that offense and the defense they run, under the circumstances. So they'll have a good football team.
So it felt really good to be back on the field. It was very sad last year not being able to finish out the season with Jamari and Josh and the group of seniors that we had, because they were just tremendous guys and good athletes. But the process coming back through Corona, it was kind of a good deal for me. I got to stay up here. It was pretty much me, Michael Shaddix, and our trainer Mike just about every day throughout the quarantine. We had hardships to stay here on campus, and it was just a good deal, a lot of one-on-one time with the trainer, and got to focus on my knee and got to do everything the right way. With the Corona, I wasn't in a rush to get back, so I was able to take my time. And starting the season off at Florida State was very exciting, and my knee felt really good. I have no complaints about that.
Considering the start you were off to last year, when the injury happened at Austin Peay, just what was going through your mind? What emotions were happening at that time?
I believe I was like the leading receiver by about 6 catches. I think when I went down, it was upsetting because I was looking forward to having a really good year, a really outbreak year, and. It was tough mentally just to stay positive through everything, but just being with Mike and everything through the rehab process, it kept me up, and they kept me mentally positive, and it was good.
Was it ACL or was there more to it?
There was more to it. So it was ACL and both lateral and medial meniscus repair. So that had me. Usually when you have just the ACL repair, you're able to walk pretty much a couple days after surgery, able to put weight on it. But with my meniscus being repaired, I was non-weight bearing for 8 weeks. So that's on both crutches, no weight. And that was probably the biggest struggle of the comeback of the rehab.
You mentioned the guys you worked with in the receiver corps last year. How is it different working with this bunch this year?
This bunch, It's a younger group of guys. You know, last year it was guys that I kind of looked up to. You know, Josh and Jamar, they were older guys. They've been here for a little while. And, you know, I just kind of had like big eyes when you see them. They always brought energy and everything. But now it's kind of like I'm the older guy. I kind of filled their shoes, and I kind of try to take the role that they had to me. And I try to encourage younger receivers a little bit. I know they got some learning to do and developing to do. But they're doing a great job.
I would imagine you go up against Colby Fuqua in practice. Just what kind of player is he to spar against?
What do you say? Can you repeat that?
I imagine you go up against Colby Fuqua in practice some, and just kind of what does he bring to the table when you're sparring against him?
Yes, sir. He's an athletic guy. He's a quick guy. You know, he can really do it all. He's physical. He's strong. He's fast. He's good with his feet. He's competitive, and he can make me mad sometimes when he tries to lock me down. But it's just good to have that iron sharpen irons and mentality, and just make each other better.
Is there a certain way he goes about it when he tries to lock you down that makes you mad, or what is it?
Yeah, if he comes up in a press coverage, he's gonna try to hold on to me a little bit too much, and that's kind of what gets to me. That's kind of what made me mad, because at practice we don't have refs out there to throw flags or anything, and so you just got to fight through it and play through it.
Trae, could you talk about getting a chance to play at home this week?
So I know it's gonna be our only home game. So hopefully we'll have. I'm not really sure what the audience or what the attendance situation is, but hopefully we'll get a good turnout. I know it's homecoming, so hopefully a good bit of students will be able to show up, and we'll be able to put on a good show for everybody that shows up.
Trae, how's the adjustment going from, you said last year you kind of, looking up to the Jamaris and the Joshes, now you're that guy people are looking up to. Has that been any adjustment for you at all, or has that been a smooth transition?
I think it's been a pretty smooth transition. I know the offense really well. I know I can help younger guys, and the younger guys, they help me too, because not only trying to teach them is also I'm teaching myself. I'm learning things from trying to teach them, and it's good all around.
Man, it's been a weird off season. I mean, we come in from I thought we were about to be just one heck of a football team coming in spring. Our off-season workouts, everybody was clicking. We were just like one heartbeat. They talk about one heartbeat. We're all clicking really well. And going into spring ball, we only had 2 practices in helmets. And defensively, we really brought the energy, making plays. Everybody just fired up, just ready to be out there again. But as you know, that got cut short. We only had 2 days in helmets. Never got to put the pads on in the spring, so coming into, June, they brought us all back June 1st from halfway through March we were gone. And we just had a couple weeks of workouts, trying to get us back into it. Then we got, here and there, everybody got quarantined on and off from positive cases around who you're with and grouped with. So, it was still hectic really until getting into fall camp, and we still had a couple times we had to quarantine a good bit of guys. But it's been all over the place. But I'm definitely glad to be back playing. I think it's been almost a full year since we were in full pads, really playing live contact and stuff. But this off season it's been frustrating with not being able to be with my guys the whole time and really get prepared the way I'd like to. And through that, there's been just a bunch of nicked up injuries and just stay with you, kind of nagging hamstrings and hip flexors, and it's been frustrating, but we get these 4 games in, you know, get better and move on, and hopefully look to have a great rest of my 3 years here.
Questions for Jackson?
Jackson, you talked about how strange everything was. How strange is it to think that this is the only home game?
Man, that is weird to think about, ain't it? I mean, to have 4 games, it's just, I don't know. I mean, I'm glad we're playing, but 4-game season is so odd. This is the times we're living in. I'm just ready for it all to get back to normal.
Jackson, how much different did it feel for you going? I mean, I guess compared last year's when you started playing to now, you got a year under your belt. I mean, and then this year's starting out at Florida State, but just did you feel more comfortable? I guess. I mean, how much of a difference did you feel like you've grown from last year to now?
Oh yeah, I mean, being in the program a year with Coach Green and all, I feel a whole lot more confident and comfortable playing. Like last year, you know, it was kind of flying by the seat of your pants a little bit as far as the aspect of like assignments and reactions to different blocks and stuff. I mean, this year it seems about second nature, and you know, the more reps you get, the better you get, you know, and I just feel more comfortable playing, and yeah, I'd definitely say more comfortable in the situations.
How was it playing at Florida State? Probably a little different than playing in Rainbow City, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great environment. I enjoyed going out there because, I mean, people thought, I'm sure, that we weren't going to be able to hang with them. I mean, the score, you know, it is what it is. But the first half, I mean, the fire we came out there, you know, and just really got after them for a while. I mean, we just sort of just ran out of gas, you know. They had 3 games. They were on their 3rd game, you know. We had our first one coming off of like a very long fall camp type deal, and a lot of hard practices and physical against our offense, and you know, going back and forth at it. But yeah, I mean, I think just their 2 or 3 games they had, you know, ahead of us was probably what made us not be able to hang with them in the end and halftime.
You mentioned in the spring the defense was really clicking, and it was that's such disappointing, you know, with everything kind of ending the way it did. When did you guys, or did you see it click again whenever y'all were able to start back to practice? How long did it take y'all to kind of get in that groove again?
Yeah, I mean, it took a while because, I mean, you had guys, you know, missing practice because coronavirus and all that, and like we were unsure, you know, we were really unsure for a while of if we're going to play or not, you know. I mean, we weren't even sure if we were going to have a season or what it was going to be like. Once we started kind of figuring out what it was going to be, you know, we all, you know, accepted the challenge and developed that mindset of, you know, we're going to attack this, and then the defense began to, you know, we started all kind of coming back together and clicking again, and as you can see, Florida State game, I think we came out pretty strong together as a unit.